Recording.
Oh, wait.
No, you need to get going.
Okay.
Nope.
So I'm going to introduce myself, even though we, on this call, we all know who I am, but other people will be listening to the recording. So I'm Michelle Dorado, and I'm a Beachbody coach. I've been a Beachbody coach for about a year and a half. And so my friends Kisa Andrews and Kelly Posner are also going to be talking tonight. And the three of us are going to tell you a little bit about our stories and why we're coaches and what life is like as a coach. Kelly and Kisa, do either of you want to say anything before, or should I just go ahead and get started? Okay. So before I became a Beachbody customer, I had a lot of physical problems. I had bad back. I couldn't bend over to pick something up off the ground. If I did pick something up off the ground, I needed help to get back up. There were times where my husband had to help me out of bed, couldn't put on my own shoes. Couple times where he had to dry my feet, clip my toenails. I mean, this poor man has done it all, and it's embarrassing, and it was it was degrading. It was just really degrading to be in my 40s and have that be my life. And it wasn't even the weight that was the problem. It was just the lack of strength and the back pain, and just, you know, when you go to work and you have to bend over at somebody's desk to help them do something, but then you can't get back up, it's just humiliating. So Kisa was doing a program online, and she was posting her workouts every day. And I'm not going to lie, it was a little obnoxious because there was no way I thought I could do it, right? And I thought, you know, she's tall and she's fit, and here she is with her workouts. There's no way I could ever do that. And then she sent me, you know, we talked a little bit, and Kisa and I have known each other for more than 10 years. And so she sent me a link. She asked me if I wanted to look at it. She sent me this 2-week trial, never opened it. Well, I logged in, and then of course it expired. You knew that, didn't you? Okay, so then it rolled forward to the quarterly. I still don't think I opened it for at least 2 quarters. Just let it keep going. And Kisa just kept, you know, gently reaching out and being really kind about it, which, Kisa, for you, gentle, that was impressive. Good job. Anyways, so I eventually did start doing the workouts. I wasn't very interested in the products themselves outside of the workouts, but Kisa was like, okay, here's an obvious thing. You can do this, and you can purchase these products, and you can become a Beachbody coach and get discounts on them. You don't even have to run a business. So that's what I did. I started as what we call a preferred member. So I got all my products for at least 25% off. And if I happened to sell something, I would make a commission. But that's not why I joined. I joined because I needed to get healthy, and I needed to get healthy quickly, because I was miserable. And there were times when I would look at myself in the mirror and cry. And most days I would try not to look at in the mirror. And I didn't want to get dressed in any of the clothes I had, because none of them looked good at all. Hello, sorry, you just missed part of the story, Christina.
That's okay. I'll jump back in. I'll listen along the way.
Okay. So anyways, I hated the clothes, the way they fit. I wouldn't go shopping. T-shirts were baggy. I needed them low enough to cover my belly. It was awful. It was awful. And then one day I discovered Lift 4, which is one of the programs on Beachbody On Demand, and I kind of connected with it. And I first of all, I did the first week of the yoga program like 4 or 5 times, because that was all I could do. 1 week, over and over and over again. And then I got to the point where I could do planks, and I could do some basic exercises. Yoga is not nearly as easy as I thought it was. But then I did Lift 4, and it was a combination of weight training and cardio. And the more I saw results, the more I started talking to other people about it. And Rebecca actually was one of the first people that I helped find Beachbody, who actually said, thank you for changing my life. And that for me was the moment when I thought, okay, it's selfish not to talk to people about it. It's just selfish. So that is what my life was like before, and it gets better all the time. Right now I'm doing a boxing program. I love it. There is nothing about this path that it's always improving. Everything is always improving. And I can do squats and I can get down on the ground and get back up again. I can't remember the last time I had back pain. So, hi, Greg. So I can't remember the last time I had back pain or had any issues, needed my husband's help with anything like that. So for me, it was just huge. It was life-changing. Thank you. It was life-changing. So yeah, love you too. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Kisa. What, Kelly?
Oh. Kelly's remembering to put on the, wait, way to go, Kelly. You forgot Michelle's.
That's all right.
Just kidding. So I am Kisa, and there's Michelle's. You can leave Michelle's up while I talk. It's fine. So I am Kisa, and I have been a Beachbody coach for about 2 years now, a little over 2 years. Pretty soon I'm going to have to start saying like 2.5 years because it's like almost June. So I used to be, so before Beachbody, I was your classic yo-yo exerciser. I wouldn't say yo-yo dieter, but I was a yo-yo exerciser. So I would join a gym, go for a little while, I'd stop. I'd join another gym, go for a little while, I'd stop. And never really found anything that actually really stuck. Did CrossFit. I actually really enjoyed CrossFit. What I hated about CrossFit was I was spending probably close to $300 a month for my husband and I to be able to go 3 times a week, and we were literally racing traffic after work to be able to make it to the class on time, because you don't want to be late to CrossFit because they punished you with more burpees or whatever it was. And so it was, and then I was so tired after the workout that I would just look at my husband and I was like, schmizza sound good? You want to go get some pizza? Pizza sounds good. Let's go get pizza. So, and then, you know, my husband ended up getting injured through it. And so we just had to quit CrossFit altogether. So, I had joined this accountability group, I want to say, end of 2017. My cousin had posted this thing like, hey, I'm just going to do this free online workout group just for some accountability. Anybody want to join? And I was like, sure, why not? So I join on, and I'm connected with like a bunch of people from my hometown, and, you know, ladies that I went to high school with, and old friends that I used to play sports with. And I was like, this is kind of cool. And like halfway through, I realized like, oh my gosh, these guys are doing 21-day fix. At the beginning of this year, I had bought Beachbody on demand and had never touched it. I bought it. I was like, this is going to be a great deal. I'm going to get in shape, and then totally forgot about it until I joined this like free group that my cousin was doing for a short amount of time. And so I pulled that out, started doing that. And then I started seeing some previews for a program called 80 Day Obsession. And it was coming out in January of 2018. And I was watching these results and I was like, this is it. I'm going all in, New Year's resolution. Here we go. And mind you, I'd said that before plenty of times, but this time, you know, it was going to be different. So I started researching it, and I decided that if I was going to go all in and I wanted the results that these people were seeing, that I was going to do everything, products, everything. And I was a huge skeptic on the products. I just thought the shakes were a bunch of BS, a way for them to make some money. I had been approached by shakes before. I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. So I decided this time I was just going to go all in. And I was just going to give it a shot. Like, I had nothing to lose. And if I didn't like the products, I didn't have to continue using them, right? But at least I'd give it a shot for the program. So I started doing some research, and I found out that if you signed up as a coach, you got a discount, and I'm cheap. So I already knew that I was going to sign up as a discount coach. But I was also super curious about the coaching opportunity. I had seen coaches online. I wasn't quite sure what they did. I was super highly skeptical as far as, is this a pyramid scheme? Can they really make money? What's going on? Just a little background. I work in the legal field, so skepticism is in my nature, and so is research. So I was doing research, and I happened to reach out to Kelly, who you're going to hear from next. Kelly didn't know me from Adam. I dropped in her Facebook messengers and said, hey, tell me a little bit more about this coaching gig. I know you're a Beachbody coach. And gave her a little background, going like, hey, I used to work with your husband years ago, like long before you even knew your husband. I used to work with your husband. And so we met for brunch, and she told me a little bit more about the coaching thing. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. But 1, I'm not posting on social media, and 2, I'm not selling anything. But I'm gonna be a coach and see if I can make some money at this, and why not, right? I have nothing to lose. If I can make a few extra dollars, if I can get my products paid for, why not? So just a little background. At the same time, I had 3 kids in high school. That's how I know Michelle. Our daughters were the best of friends, starting in primary school, 5th grade. So that's how I know Michelle. So I had 3 kids at the time in high school, super busy.
So I'm just going to interrupt and say that our kids together were a disaster, like best of friends. And oh my God, it was bad.
I thought they were good. But so I knew Michelle that way, but I had 3 kids in high school. I was your PTA mom. I was super active. And as the kids started going through high school, my husband kept going, what are you going to do with your life, Kisa? What are you going to do when these kids leave the nest? And I didn't know. I had no idea. My children and my family were my life. Everything revolved around them. And I really had no life of my own. I had no hobbies for myself. And so when I decided to take on coaching, I was like, this could be it. This could be what I do when the kids leave the nest. And so I jumped right in with 80-day obsession, and I followed the program to a T. And I was doing the workouts, I was showing up, and the big thing that I think I noticed the most with this was the community. And which I didn't have before with gyms, right? I didn't even have that at CrossFit. I didn't have this community that I could lean into to show up for the workouts. When you're seeing other people show up, it makes you want to show up. Very early on, I will say in March. So the program launched in January. That's when I started. In March of that year, I had lost my grandmother. And in the past, that would have been a done over, no more working out. I'm going to deal with this. And I probably wouldn't have gone back to it. Except this time I leaned into my community, and I leaned into the women that were supporting me, and I showed up. I did a workout in the Denver International Airport with people surrounding me, looking at me like I was some crazy lady doing workouts on the floor in like this corner where I was trying to hide so nobody would find me. But I was determined that I had women that not only was I showing up for myself, but I had women that I was leading, and I wanted to show them that you can't just stop when life gets hard. You can't just not show up when it's inopportune, because life is going to always throw hard stuff at you. You are always going to, there's never going to be a perfect time to start a business. There's never going to be a perfect time to get your health together or to start working out. I think everybody's always like, oh, I'm so busy, I'll do it when the kids do this, or I'll do this and do this. And really, that's just an excuse. 30 minutes a day, you can do this. So I really leaned into the community. I finished the program. It was a year of so much loss that had I not, I lost my grandfather that year. I had to put my dog of like 14 years down. Like, it was just a year of complete, utter loss. It also happened to be the year that I gained so much through Beachbody, and because of the community that I found, I have worked out for 2.5 years, every single week, 4 to 7 times a week. I have made so many incredible friendships through this that I would have never made. Women that I would have never connected with, that I would have never assumed that I would have friendships with. Within my first year as a coach, I won, so Beachbody provides these what are called Success Club trips, and you can earn essentially free vacations to wherever that is. And so within my first year of coaching, I had won a trip to the Bahamas, the Caribbean, on a cruise. And again, something I had never envisioned for myself. 1, never envisioned that I would be on a cruise. 2, never thought I'd be in the Bahamas. And there I was a year later after signing up, and I was enjoying this trip with a bunch of people, like-minded people who, you know, just are out there to help others become happier and healthier. This will be my 3rd year. Well, started in 18, it's 2020. I'm telling you, I'm going on 2.5 years, but I just qualified for my 3rd Success Club trip that I have earned. And so next year we're going to Mexico. I have been able to pay off credit card debt. I've been able to now just drop all my Beachbody money into savings. I have been able to take trips that have been paid for through Beachbody money that I've earned. So there's all these bonuses of how Beachbody has impacted my life. But I will go back to what Michelle had said. The very first time, I had an old friend that I had not connected with in years. And she did 80-day obsession as well. And I remember specifically her coming to me and thanking me for inviting her to do this, because she didn't sign up as a coach. She was just a customer. She lost 6 pant sizes, and she had not been there since before her children were born. And she just said, thank you so much. You have changed my life. And so that, for me, it sealed the deal. Like, for me, that was the thing that I knew, okay, we are actually truly changing lives here. And because of that, I will forever coach, whether or not, you know, my goals may change up and down on what I want to do as a coach, but I will forever coach, because I know that I am impacting lives one way or another, whether it's through their health and fitness or whether it's helping them create a business so that they can become more financially free. It has totally, completely changed my life. So, Kelly, your turn. You're up. I can't even see her.
I'm here. I didn't go anywhere. So my name is Kelly, and I am the senior coach of the three of us. And I'm not the youngest, but I'm the senior, if that makes sense. Youngest in terms of age, anyway. But I've been.
I'm the youngest. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
You just called out. What's your name? Michelle, for being the oldest. How rude.
Wait, piss off.
I didn't do it. She did it. But anyway, so I've been a coach since February of 2014. So also just over 6 years, going in about 6.5 years as a coach. And I started for a very different reason than the other two ladies. And which is what I love about this, is that you can start for a million different reasons. You can continue for a million different reasons. You can change at any given time. Everybody has their story, and every single coach is their own brand, their own person, their own business, and no two have to look alike. So that's why we come and share multiple stories in hopes that one of us will resonate with you, or part of our story will resonate, because you get to write your story, you get to tell your story and rewrite what you want to do and how you want to be as a coach. So back in 2014, I was a single mom of she was about 2.5. I was recently divorced. And I was living paycheck to paycheck. I had a very good job. I was a high school counselor, and I loved my job. I loved my job, but it just wasn't enough. In education, I loved what I did, but we didn't make millions, right? And so there was very little that I could go out and do to earn extra income. There was nothing I could do at my current job. I couldn't work harder or do better or get more kids to graduate to earn more income. It was just, everybody got the same pay across the board, regardless of how hard you worked or how much you loved the kids and took care of them or whatever. So there was no more money at the end of the month, and I felt like I was missing out on the extras, like going out on happy hours with friends, or coffee dates, or buying my daughter, doing special things with my daughter, because I just couldn't afford it. So I went into this business, or I went looking for something to earn an extra income that I could bring home that wouldn't take me away from my child. I was already splitting custody with her father, and the last thing I wanted to do was pay money to put my daughter in daycare to be away from her more and earn money. It just is counterintuitive. It didn't make any sense. And so I went into this business for the extra paycheck. The discount was great. I was like, oh, I'm already going to do this. Why not get a discount on these products? I honestly signed up as a challenger. I think it was January of 2014. And within 6 weeks, I was a coach. So I signed up as a challenger with my now sponsors in the business. And I started that. I signed up with P90X3. So that's how long ago it was. We only had DVDs. There was no Beachbody On Demand. I got one program and one bag of Shakeology for way more than I pay now for all of the programs in a bag of Shakeology. But that's the way it worked back then, right? And within 6 weeks, I never finished that program. Still to this day, have not finished the 3-month P90X3 program, but I still signed up. I went on a weekend trip, like holiday trip, over President's Day weekend in February. And my boyfriend at the time, so I was dating, his best friend, one of his best friends is my sponsor, my upline sponsors in the business. And we went, they went to law school together. And so we went on a weekend getaway, and I listened. And I joined the challenge group with him and his wife at the time. That's who I had signed up with to be a customer. And I remember the guys went off skiing, and I was hanging out with her, and I had never met her before that weekend. And I was listening to her do some work while she was on that weekend getaway. She was like sending voice messages and doing all these things. And I just listened. And I was like, she was talking about all these things, and she just sounded so excited, and she was so energetic about it. And then she showed me like somebody's check from 1 week or something, and all these things. And I was going, what the heck? Like, this is possible? Like, this is, because in my job, the only thing that I ever knew was possible is this is how much money I could make at the end of 30 years of teaching or being in education. and you capped out at this after 20 years. So for the last 10 years until you could retire, you were making the same amount of money. There was nothing you could do to earn more money. There was nothing. And I was like, oh my gosh, like somebody earned this in a week that I earned maybe in 3 months at my job, or, quarter of the year or something. And I was like, that was never dawned on me that there was anything else out there that you could earn a living or earn income based on your own production, like based on how hard you worked, how much effort you put into something. And that was the first time that I saw the potential. And I didn't ask really questions. I was too scared. I was like, if I ask questions, they're going to think I'm interested, and they're going to pounce, and they're not going to leave me alone. And so I just kind of listened, from the background, and listened to her talk and whatever. And I went home, and I remember talking to my boyfriend about it, who's now my husband. And I was like, well, what if I sign up with them and I fail? Like, they're your best friends. Or what if I sign up with them and then we broke up, or what, who knew? And I almost let that fear of failure get in the way of what was possible. Because in my old life, the only things that were possible were the things that were tangible, that were in front of me, going to work 7:30 to 3, getting my paycheck at the end of the month, and all that. Like, that was what was possible. There was no other realm. I didn't have the dream. I was like, nope, I go to pick up my daughter at daycare, and we come home and we do this, and that's basically how my life is going to be. I didn't have all of these things that I saw as possibilities. I was not there. Based on past life experiences and things, I was just like, this is how my life is going to be, and this is where I'm at. And that was the first time where I had that glimpse of possibility based on what I did, and how hard I worked, and that it was going to be on my merit. And so when I signed up, I decided to sign up, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go all in. I need this income. I need it to make sense, that I'm buying product now every month. I'm doing these programs, and I worked when my daughter was sleeping. I worked when she napped. I worked when she was at her dad's. I worked on lunch breaks when I was at my other job, at my high school job. And I also worked weekends, and I worked in the summertime because I have 3 months off. Okay. And I had early success. I earned a paycheck within the first week. My boyfriend at the time bought something from me, but it doesn't matter. It was still money in my pocket. And I had early financial success. I actually had a couple people from my school sign up to be coaches on my team right away. I hit the first rank in the company within 60 days. It actually popped up in my memories the other day, 6 years ago, when it just popped up. And I was like, oh, I forgot. So I had that early success. And then it started to dwindle because I was talking the talk, but I wasn't walking the walk. So when you heard Kisa and you heard Michelle's story about how, they started using the products and loving them and seeing how it was changing their life, I didn't see that at first. I was always into working out. I didn't know about nutrition. I didn't know anything about it. I was like, I don't need that. I can just outwork a bad diet, right? I was in the gym 6 times a week at least before Beachbody. And then because of a young child and gym and times and all this stuff, I was like, the at-home workouts worked way better for me, but I still wasn't consistent with getting doing the programs from start to finish, following a nutrition plan and all of that. But I was telling everybody else to do that. These things will work, but I'm not willing to do that. So I was really inauthentic on social media. I was like, don't post anything of me having cocktails. Don't post anything of me having drink or having treats or anything. And I was being really inauthentic. So not only was I not getting results, I wasn't helping people that were joining me get results. And so things started to dwindle. I didn't have the belief. I was like, oh my gosh, well, if I can't get results and other people can't get results, then it wasn't that I didn't believe in the products or the programs. It was, I didn't believe in my ability to help other people. And so and it was actually 2018 when Kisa dropped in it was still 2017 because it was in December. We met right before, I think she signed up actually December 30th or 31st of 2017. And we both decided to go in on 80-day obsession. And I don't know why that time clicked for me. I don't know what it was, but I went in all in on 80-day obsession. I went in on myself. I said, I have to stop walking or talking the talk. I have to walk the walk. And I shared everything about my journey. I shared my workouts. I shared the struggles. I shared what I was eating. I followed the nutrition plan to a T. I went on vacation in Hawaii and barely had any cocktails. I didn't drink for almost 3 months because I was that committed and wanted to see what was possible. Again, I wanted to see what was possible if I did something different. And in that time, not only did my fitness, I had my biggest physical transformation, I had the biggest mental transformation, and my business started to boom because now I was sharing authentically what I was doing. I was cheering other people on. I was telling people, this is what you need to do if you want to have success. And they were following what I was saying now because I was doing it, not just because I was saying it. And then they were able to see success. And once I got to see and hear other people have success, and I got to hear that those things like Michelle and Kisa said, like, you changed my life. I waited for that day. But guess what? I had to change my life before I could help anybody else change theirs. And so now I literally, it just gave me chills. I literally hear people say that like at least once a week. You helped change my life. I'm so thankful. And I don't say that to brag or to say, because it's still really hard for me to fathom that I can help change somebody else's life because of the person I was. Not even, it's not even 6 years ago, even 2 years ago, 3 years ago, because I was very broken. I was very, I had literally zero self-esteem. I was in a very verbally, emotionally, and mentally abusive relationship for almost 11 years before I got out. And that takes a toll on me as a person. I had to work my way out of that hole that I had put myself in. And so it's still really hard for me to believe somebody when they say that I helped change their life. And I have to put it back on them and say, I gave you the tools, you did the work. And that is what I think is so important and so amazing about coaching is, as a coach, as a customer, we give people the tools to be successful in their own life. I don't do the work for Michelle. I don't do the work for Kisa. I don't do the work for Rebecca. I help give them tools. I show them the way, and then we have to do the work to see the success in our own life. And the best part is we get to do it together. So all four of us, so Michelle, Kisa, and Rebecca were complete strangers. If it were not for Beachbody, I would never know these women. Kisa and I talk probably 85 times a day in voice text or like just text messages. I can't imagine. We literally don't go a day without communicating. I didn't know her 2.5 years ago. Didn't know her, and now I don't go a day without speaking to her. Like it's amazing to me what this community has brought into my life that I didn't know I needed. I started for the money, and the community and the accountability and the consistency is what truly changed my life. And now it's come full circle where that money now is coming in and is going to completely change my life because I was able, because of my Beachbody income, I was able to go down to half-time work in my counseling work. I've been a half-time counselor for 2 years. And this fall, our district has decided they are no longer going to allow part-time positions. And I was either forced to go back full time or I had to resign my position. But due to COVID, my husband's been out of work for 3 months already and could be up to another 1 or 2 months. And so that wasn't an option for me at this moment, to lose our medical benefits and to resign from that job. But now my goal before this next calendar year is to be resigned, to be making the same income, earning the same full-time income that I would as an educator beyond, and be able to fire my boss and live a life of freedom that is now way more important to me than being able to go to that job at that school. And so, like I said in the beginning, people sign up for many, many different reasons, whether or not you want to be a discount coach, and it changes because you see how it's changing your life and you feel selfish not to share that with others. And so then you start sharing. Kisa said, I didn't want to sell. I don't want to do social media. She actually does trainings on her team calls about social media. Boom. And second, she doesn't want to sell anything. We don't sell stuff. We have products that we share. I don't purchase anything that I then directly sell to anybody. I share what I use and what's worked for me and what's changed my life so that others can hopefully have the same opportunity and the same experience that I do. I don't sell shit. Just like I don't go and sell a restaurant. I don't get paid to go tell somebody about my favorite restaurant. I get paid though to go tell people what has literally changed my life. And that is this job. I get paid to do that. I get paid to sit on these calls essentially, and I get paid to share my story. I get paid to share my journey, my struggles, my horrible non-shower, no makeup. I get paid to do that. Like, that's insane. And the fact that I can sit here, sorry, I'm going off tangent. The fact that I can sit here without showering, with no makeup, and talk to you and feel confident in sharing my story is insanity compared to what I would have been years ago. I would never leave my house without makeup. It's not about my makeup. It's not about my hair. Yeah, we all like to look good. We like to feel good, but it's about the confidence in the way that I can change somebody's life. It doesn't revolve around the makeup that I put on my face. So anyway, I feel like I went on a total tangent, but
That's okay. But Kelly,
yeah.
insert the income disclaimer really quickly.
Yeah, except I can't ever remember it. So Beachbody does not guarantee any level of income. It's all based on your effort. Like I said, like if you work the business, you can earn income. If it's no pyramid scheme. You have to work to earn an income. You can't just sign up and go, "Where's all the money, honey?" It's not coming. So I don't know the exact wording, but yeah, it's all based on.
I think that does it.
Yeah. So I'm going to stop talking because I could talk all night because I get really passionate and I love what I do. I don't know if I'm going to turn it back over to Michelle.
Yeah. So I have a question. What if I don't have a transformation story? So essentially, I'm going to take this, but I'm sure that Kisa's going to want to jump in on this. I don't have a huge physical transformation story. I have a strength transformation story. So like I'm down a pant size, 2 pant sizes, but it doesn't really look like it to me. But the things I can do physically and mentally too, but honestly, physically, those are my transformations. Kisa, anyways, I guess people want to come on the journey with you as opposed to just watch you and then do it later. So you don't have to have a transformation story to help other people.
Yeah, I'll add, I don't really have a transformation story. As far as a physical transformation, I hear a lot of women who join me that say, "Oh, I'll become a coach once I have a transformation story." And I'm like, nope, you got it all backwards. People don't want to join you in the after. They want to join you while you're doing it, because you are literally locking arms with somebody. You're like, "Hey, I'm doing this. I have no freaking idea if it's going to work, but I'm going to go all in. You want to do it with me?" And people want to be in community with you. And so I don't really have a transformation story. And I think that's a big misconception, is that people will buy in once they know that it works. And it works. I can tell you it works. You have to put in the work to do it. But like I said, like, I'm successful and I don't have the before and after photos. I think I have one. And that's because I let my nutrition go to crap for a few months and realized it, even though I was working out every single day, and really just decided to take control of my nutrition and continue my workouts. And I had a transformation from that. But you do not have to have a transformation story to start as a coach. In fact, I would encourage you that if this is something that you're even curious about, that you do it at the very beginning of your journey. And a ton of successful coaches, that's exactly how they do it. They don't wait for the transformation story to start inviting people. They do it when they sign up.
there any more questions? I don't see any more questions. Okay. So thank you, Kelly and Kisa, for coming on the call with me and sharing your stories, and for supporting me and mine. And yeah, you're right, Kelly, you have changed a lot of people's lives, but you're wrong in one aspect, and that yes, you provided us the tools, but you had the strength to provide us with the tools. So that's huge. So, thank you. What? Am I crying? I don't cry. I don't cry. I don't know what you're talking about. I stopped recording because I'm crying. All right. Bye, you guys.